Byrnes here, still reading from stopping in front of the Chelsea. This is called the 99-cent store for Woody Guthrie. At the 99-cent store, they're selling 3 pairs of socks for $1.69. It doesn't take an Einstein to figure out that this is a good deal. I bought the socks, a tube of ultra bright toothpaste that contains peroxide and baking soda that prevents my gums from bleeding like an inept hemophiliac working in a barbed wire factory. With my purchases, I leave the 99-cent store and walk a few doors down to a diner to get a coffee to go. The diner serves the best tasting coffee for miles around. The sign reads they close at 2 o'clock on Sundays, and it's 2:30. I walk to my car parked behind the 99-cent store in a nearly empty lot. Off to my right, I see 2 men and a woman sitting on red milk crates, smoking cigarettes and passing around a bottle of hooch as if they were drinking in a 1930s hobo jungle near railroad tracks in Albany, New York. I recognize one of the men as a former drinking buddy. Woody Guthrie wrote songs and ballads about Depression-era hobo jungles he lived in and the rough plight of winos he befriended along the tracks. My former drinking buddy will meet one fate or another, whether I say hello or not. Peter, Paul, and Mary were recently on public television looking well-fed, prosperous, singing Woody's songs about Depression-era hobo jungles and the rough plight of winos. Next month, Peter is giving a testimonial dinner at $1,500 a plate. This is called The Calm Loony for Colleen Black. I called her one morning right after I tried to hang myself. I believe I was 34, facing not much of a future as a writer or artist, or so I thought. I said into the phone, "Look, I just tried to hang myself, but I'm okay now." She started to cry. "What do you mean you tried to hang yourself?" "I don't know," I said. "It seemed like a good idea, but now my fucking neck hurts." She cried some more. Later that day we met in the diner and laughed about my suicide try. She said I sounded like a calm loony on the phone that morning. Now it's many years later. At times I miss the poems she wrote, the drawings she made on diner napkins, the nights we pool our money for one good meal a week. I'm about to publish my 9th collection of poetry, and I sold a painting a few weeks ago that was compared to Pollock. The future seems rosy, but under my calm exterior lurks this loony grinning at that death noose every single morning. This one's called The Late Great Aunt Fuzzy. This is for you, Aunt Fuzzy. I thought I found a nude picture of Myrna Loy last week, but it was my great Aunt Fuzzy who danced with Sally Rand. Once they gave a command performance aboard the USS Missouri for Haile Selassie and Winston Churchill. I believe that was 1937, and Rand did it as a personal favor for Franklin Roosevelt. Aunt Fuzzy and Sally Rand were summoned to tea with Eleanor Roosevelt at the White House on December 6, 1941. Aunt Fuzzy enlisted in the Waves on December 8, 1941, where she became friends with Paulette Goddard and Carol Lee, the wife of movie actor Alan Ladd. While sightseeing on the island of Borneo, after it had been retaken from the Japanese, Aunt Fuzzy was trampled to death by a rampaging herd of pygmy elephants. She had been recommended for the Navy Cross for gallantry in action only 5 hours before her untimely demise. Every February 9th, the people of the island of Borneo celebrate Aunt Fuzzy's heroism with an all-day feast featuring roast suckling pig, huge steaming pots of boiled snail, tender crocodile steak, deep smoked snake meat, and roasted corn ears. The celebration is known as Hoon Pin Not Kim Tutan. Translation: White Woman Warrior Trampled by Pygmy Elephants Day. From what I've learned, they never found a trace of Aunt Fuzzy after her encounter with those pygmy elephants. But they put up a shrine where she was killed, a statue that looks a lot like Jimi Hendrix with a very large afro, which is a rather strange coincidence, being that Hendrix is still worshipped as some sort of god. Let the historians figure that one out. How sweet it is. Alright, one more here. See what we got. Alright, let's go. A very quiet 4th of July. In a Burger King parking lot, the young man with crew-cut brown hair and a white t-shirt and tan shorts picked a lone peacock up by the neck and began to swing it around and around. He then proceeded to continuously smack the poor winged creature onto the blacktop, all the while screaming, "I'll slaughter Dracula." The employees and the customers, especially the children, were shocked by this act of American violence. One of the children, a 5-year-old Goldilocks, puked up her French fries, the vanilla shake all over a table. When the cops arrived, the crazed young man told him he'd been receiving bad vibrations from the colorful bird and knew he had to kill it. He's now spending a very quiet 4th of July in the Bellevue State Mental Hospital, where he's already made friends with a guy who took an axe to his girlfriend. She's in critical condition in a different hospital. That's all, folks.